If you're living in an apartment, you know the struggle all too well. One minute you're streaming, the next, buffering. It feels like your Wi-Fi is just one big unsolvable mystery. Well, today we're putting on our detective hats because we are going to crack one of the biggest cases behind your bad connection. Let's get this investigation started.
Now, this is part 3 of a fantastic 10-part series from RFI Detectives. It's designed for you, the technically savvy user, who's ready to roll up your sleeves. We're assuming you've got the basics down. If you haven't done your initial surveillance from parts 1 and 2, you might want to check those out first.
So let me ask you something. You see that auto channel setting in your router's menu and you think, perfect, the router's got this. But what if I told you that one little setting is actually making your Wi-Fi worse? What if it's not being smart and it's just following the crowd right off a cliff?
Okay, before we touch a single thing, we have to talk about the #1 rule of troubleshooting. This is the code, the golden rule that every good detective and every good network tech lives by. This is what separates just guessing from actually solving the problem.
Think about it. A good detective would never contaminate a crime scene. And the same thing applies right here. You can't just go in and start clicking buttons all over the place. If you do that, you'll have no idea what actually worked, or, more importantly, what made things a whole lot worse.
So here's the process. It's simple. Step 1, record your initial settings. Take a screenshot, jot them down, whatever you got to do. Step 2, and this is absolutely critical, make only one change at a time. Just one. Then, step 3, test it. Did it get better? Worse? And finally, step 4, record what you did and what happened.
Look, if you change 5 things at once and your Wi-Fi gets better, you have no clue which change was the hero and which 4 might have been villains. And if you don't write down where you started, there's no going back if you mess things out. This documentation, it's your get-out-of-jail-free card. Do not skip it.
All right, detective, now that we have our rules of engagement, let's zoom in on the primary crime scene, the 2.4 gigahertz band. In any apartment building, this band is the most crowded, most chaotic, and most interference-riddled part of the whole Wi-Fi spectrum. It's a mess.
So here's the fundamental problem we're dealing with today. The 2.4 gigahertz band has these channels, right? But they're not separate lanes on a highway. Nope, most of them bleed right into each other, creating what the source material calls a collision zone. Picking one of those channels is like trying to merge by just driving right on top of the car in the next lane. It's going to cause a wreck.
So in this absolute traffic jam of a band, how many clear lanes do you actually have? How many channels can you use without causing a pileup? The answer is shockingly low. It's just 3.
That's right. The solution is to stick to the only channels that don't overlap. For the 2.4 gigahertz band, that means you should only ever use channel 1, 6, or 11. These 3 are far enough apart that they stay in their own lanes. Using anything else, like channel 3 or 8 or 9, is just you adding to the chaos.
And that brings us right back to our main suspect, doesn't it? That friendly-looking auto setting. It seems like it's a helpful witness, promising to find the best channel for you. But in reality, it's completely unreliable, and frankly, it's usually part of the problem. So why is auto so bad? Well, think of it as herd behavior. When every router in your building is set to auto, they aren't working together. They're all just reacting to each other in this crazy, chaotic dance, constantly jumping channels and creating a totally unpredictable mess of interference.
You know, picture it. Your neighbor's router reboots and decides to jump on channel 1. Your router sees this, freaks out, and jumps to channel 3, which, remember, overlaps. Then another router sees that change and jumps to 4. It's a never-ending chain reaction of bad decisions that leaves you with Wi-Fi that's great one minute and completely dead the next.
So how do we stop this madness? It's time to take control back. We are going to fire that unreliable witness and make a strategic, informed decision for ourselves. It's time for the takedown. Here's the plan, step by step. You're going to log into your router, find the wireless settings specifically for the 2.4 gigahertz band, then you're going to find that auto channel select and turn it off. Finally, using the survey you did back in part 2, you're going to pick the least crowded channel out of 1, 6, or 11, and you're going to lock it in.
Now, you might be thinking, great, case closed. You picked a channel, your Wi-Fi is faster, but a good detective knows the job is never really over. The scene is always changing. The Wi-Fi environment in your building is a living, breathing thing. A new neighbor moves in with a beast of a router. Someone else gets a bunch of new smart home gadgets. The perfect quiet channel you picked today might be the noisiest channel on the block 3 months from now.
And this brings us right back to our golden rule. But for the long haul, it's the detective's loop. You make your change, you rescan the environment to see what happened, you verify that things actually improved, and then you set a little reminder to come back and check on things every few months.
So, you've successfully moved your Wi-Fi out of that messy collision zone and into a clean, open lane. That's a huge win. But that's only half the story. The next question is, how wide should that lane be? And how much power do you actually need to be pushing? Next time, we're cracking the case of channel width and power control. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.